You're back, and this is BuzzChomp, home of fitness and entertainment. I'm Mandy, and we're reviewing the new movie about Ted Bundy. Yep, extremely wicked, surprisingly evil, and vile. It's the one starring Zac Efron. Woo! I'm Mandy.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp. Woo!
I will first give you just a little bit about me. I'm fascinated by serial killers, true crime stories, documentaries of those veins. I love these type of movies. I love horror movies. So when I even heard about this movie, heard about Zac Efron starring in it, I was like, I need to see this. This is gonna be cray. This is gonna be cray. The director, Joe Berlinger, directed this movie, and he also directed the Ted Bundy tapes, which is on Netflix, and it's a docu-series. So it's super interesting, so you can kind of see the take on that and kind of just realize that this is very much like the same portion of the story, and it's dramatized. The story is told through the eyes of his girlfriend, Liz Kepler, played by Lily Collins. I love that. I love that they told it that way. I love that you saw like how she just like could not fathom that he could do that, and she could not fathom that she could be so wrong about a person, and that he was in her house, and then she thought, no, he was so adamant that it was his fault and he was being framed, and she was like, oh my god, I gave the police his name. I gave him his name like right back in Seattle when they first started hearing about the murders in Seattle. I planted the seed. So in her mind, she thought like she was completely and totally responsible for everything that happened to Ted, and he let her, which is freaking crazy. He didn't know it was her, but he like let her believe that he was innocent. He let everyone believe that he was innocent. Freaking cray, cray, cray. Freaking cray, cray, cray. Let's dive down the rabbit hole of the acting. I didn't mind the acting. Both Dan and I were like, oh, it was good, the acting wise. Like, I felt like Zac Efron, he like really played that what Ted Bundy wanted you to see about him really, really well. I think he played that part so well. And I don't know, so here's the thought on this. If you know anything about Ted Bundy, like that's how he acted. He acted like that all the time. Like never ever let anyone see that dark side of him, except obviously the people that he killed. Even when he was confessing to his crimes, he still like kept it very surface. He still kept it like very removed from himself, even though it was all him. So in that sense, I feel like Zac Efron nailed this character. Like a part of me was thinking like, oh, maybe if the director, they went a little bit more in depth of how he was able to do it and how he like conned everybody into thinking like, because of the way he looked one way, but on the inside he was a totally different person. But it's like, we don't even know on the inside like how dark it is. We just know what he did to those girls, and it's so dark and it's so crazy. So Lily Collins was okay. She's okay. I think her character could have had even more depth. I think her character could have had those moments of questioning Ted, where I don't think that she really did. She went back on it. She looked back on it and she questioned it. But I'm like, in that moment, these were moments that stood out to you. In that moment, did you feel something? And then seeing Ted, you were like, no way. But you had that gut feeling, like that gut nervousness. I think she did. For Liz, it was there the whole time, and she was denying it because he just looked such like a nice guy, and the things he did was like so nice to her. I thought Haley Joel Osment was really good in this movie. He keeps popping up in random movies, being kind of fabulous. John Malkovich played the judge, which I think he nailed and was fabulous. If you watch the Ted Bundy tapes, you see a lot about the judge, and he just nailed. Like, looks-wise, he did not look anything like him, but he nailed his personality and the demeanor and the rapport that he had with Ted Bundy, which was really, really cool. I really, really liked this movie. I think you got a picture of who Ted Bundy was and like what he perceived himself as, and that's like what the movie showed. Like, again, I'm conflicted. Like, you could take that opposite approach and go deeper into Ted Bundy, but Ted Bundy didn't show us any deepness. I mean, I think he wrote in some journals, and you kind of like get a little bit of that, and you think he wrote some of his story up in the third person and like described it and stuff. But I still think he devoided himself of actually doing that, and of actually the craziness and the evilness and like how wicked and gross it was. I think he separated himself from that. You get a twinge of this. You get a twinge of like this evil and just how devoid of how wrong it was and how everything at the end of the movie. Like when he reveals to Liz how he killed the girl or how he cut off what happened to the head. I really enjoyed the movie. I think it really told the story well. It didn't glamorize Ted Bundy. I think it told how it happened and how people were perceived and how he perceived himself and just how crazy it was. I'm Mandy. Subscribe to BuzzChomp for more of our movie reviews and let me know what you think of this movie. What you think of Zac Efron. Yeah, kids. Yeah. Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.